Um, in essence, I had to sell maybe 4/5 of my vinyl some 16, 17 years ago.
Hmm.
It was either that or lose the house.
Oh man, isn't
Through
that's almost everybody I
it
know has that
hurts
story.
me to this day. But hey, I still got the house,
Sure,
and life moves on.
life moves on,
Um,
and you can get it again.
yeah,
that things that you
I
like.
was fortunate because I kind of suspected something was going to happen,
Mhm.
so I recorded a hell of a lot of it.
Oh,
anyway,
good.
which was good. Um, and having hung up my headphones and the vinyl, I still collect it because it's in your blood.
It's who you
It
are.
never stops.
Yeah.
And I think it was 2012.
Hmm.
Bob Masters was doing the revival of the Bournemouth Soul Weekender, and I was having breakfast with Dr. Bob and a few others.
Hmm.
Hadn't seen them for 14 years.
Long time.
Haven't been going to the clubs.
Hmm.
Had no idea internet radio stations.
Hmm.
I was just doing what I was doing, still collecting music, some vinyl, downloads, CDs.
Hmm.
And Bob said, "Wow, haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been?"
Hmm.
"Yeah, life, you know."
Sure.
And he said, "Are you still spinning?" I went, "No, man, I sold most of my vinyl." And he said, "Did you record it?" I went, "Yeah." He said, "Then why don't you come out and play?" I went, "Yeah."
Mm.
Didn't think anyone would book me.
Dr. Bob asked you.
The
That's a
next
big deal.
year,
Yeah.
I appeared at his 45 and Beyond, which is celebrating 45 years
Hmm.
in the industry. And I said, "What should I play?" He said, "Play what you like.
Right.
Play what you like." And I came along and was playing what I was into.
Hmm.
And a number of tracks hit him. He said, "Damn, who is this?"
Right. Oh wow, Dr. Bob asking you.
You know what I'm
What is
saying?
this?
Yeah.
That's great.
And I said, "I'm not going to tell you. It's
Right.
one of mine."
Right.
Anyway, we exchanged, and from then on, I was being invited to do radio shows,
Yeah.
and then Graham Grumpy Brown, who's a really good friend
Grumpy Brown,
of mine from way, way back in the day.
yeah.
Again,
I know that name.
Yeah, lovely man. You'll meet him tonight.
Okay. Okay. I feel like I know who he is.
He's
Okay.
a good guy.
Okay.
Very good guy. He invited me onto his radio show and brought along some of my music.
Hmm.
Not my music I play.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And he said, "It's so eclectic. How would you label this?"
Mm.
And I said, "Why do you need a label? It's just good music."
It's music without labels.
That's
Bam.
when music without
Yeah,
labels
labels
was
came from.
born.
Right.
And from then on, progressing, creating my own events with my view of no one's going to book me because of the left of centre that
Sure.
music that I'm into. I'll do my own gig and I'll play what I want because it's my own gig.
Right.
And we're now into our what will be the 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very strong following.
Mm-hmm.
You've sold out
I'm grateful. Yeah.
a new night to remember.
Mm-hmm.
300 plus people who are now coming along, embracing new music
Sure.
and the flavour that we're bringing.
Sure. So it's not if I'm playing tonight. It's not a big deal if I don't mix.
Not
Let a
a
record
big
go
deal.
off and I can just play
You
another record.
just talk, sing, do whatever
Talk,
you
sing.
want. Whatever you
Okay,
want.
cool.
Because the good thing about these events is what I've discovered is the people that follow these events, like Dr. Bob, like Graham Grumpy Brown, like, I hate to say myself, like you, like the likes of Gerardo Frisina, are the people that Dr. Bob has educated from the alternative
Sure.
and the jazz rooms from the late 70s through to the 80s and the 90s.
His contribution
It's
is huge.
the fruit of his labour.
Mhm.
You and I both know he's very humble. He doesn't like this kind of thing.
You're right.
But I've always had Dr. Bob up at
Sure.
the top of the
That high,
tree.
yeah.
My younger brother has always had him at the top of the tree, which is why when he worked for Motown, he said, "Temptations, the Joneses, please remix."
Mm-hmm.
What a huge track that is.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you an indication of what I feel about him, what my brother feels about him, and thousands of other people feel about him. And it's possibly because he's so humble that he often does not get the recognition, I don't think. He does from many of his peers, but not from...
That's a problem, Dave, because Dr. Bob is an important figure, but in this business, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you're not saying anything, we don't know.
Yeah.
And people know him here.
Yeah.
But in New York City, the kids coming up don't know Dr. Bob. And it would be good if he can get, maybe not him, but maybe it's Debbie or an advocate to say, hey, this man is the man you should listen to. And he will educate you. You will learn.
Absolutely.
Good music.
Yeah.
You know,
anyone who catches his surgery show on My Soul on a Sunday, which is 3 till 5 UK time, gets educated. And he is so humble. I admire him greatly. Musically, he's influenced me, no two ways about it, and continues to do so. I'm now at that stage where he and I share music.
Nice.
And I still get that, Dr. Bob.
Yeah. That's what it's about.
It's Dr. Bob that's saying, who's this?
Yeah.
Or,
that's amazing.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
We... obviously, you and I have been chatting indirectly by email for a while since the inception of A New Night to Remember.
Okay.
I do remember initially having the conversation with Dr. Bob at the last Dorado event. With, I'm thinking of bringing Josh across. What's your view? And he went, great guy.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely. I'm aware of your music.
Thanks.
Obviously a collector of Blaze and your new stuff with so many unbelievable vocalists.
Thanks.
Oh my God. It's probably putting you on the spot slightly.
Sure.
But when I reached out to you, what was your initial thoughts? I do remember the conversation.
Sure. I better call Zuleika, my manager, and have her call this guy because you seem serious. And I get a lot of calls from guys who just want to talk. And I'm thinking, this is a booking, and no, they just want to talk. But you were a little further than that. So I thought, oh, this is going to be a thing. We're actually going to do this. Yeah.
Very, I have the view, I don't reach out unless I have something to bring.
Right.
So this is what I do. This is what I would like to do. Are you interested? Let's talk.
Right. Good.
And the net result is what's happening tonight, which I must thank you. I mean,
I did nothing. I'm gonna try to do something tonight, but it's my pleasure, man. I'm gonna have a good time.
People love you.
Yeah.
You will feel that.
I do.
The people who are coming to this event love music. They know music. They know who bought the coffee.
Right.
Whilst it was being produced and recorded. They are what we call anoraks.
Nice.
Which is a great thing. We're very humbled by that. And yeah, I'm really excited. I wasn't so excited at 12:30, 1:45 this morning.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't realize you were going to take it so deeply.
So I'm laying in bed. And it's 12:30, and I'm thinking, Dave Cooper's not called me. I hope everything's okay. I know the flight was delayed, but he must be out of customs now. I'm going to give him a call. I reach out to Dave Cooper. Hey man, what's happening? Hope everything's okay. 2 minutes later, he calls me. Dave, I've spoken to Josh, and he's stuck in immigration. There seems to be a problem with the visa.
You know, when he said, I think Josh has a little problem with the pay.
Yeah.
That's what made me laugh.
That's when I heard Josh laughing in the background.
He went too far. I didn't tell him to say that.
And I went, oh.
God. That's great.
Yeah, 12:30, 1:45 this morning, I was not as excited, but I calmed down. I managed to sleep. I woke up thinking, Dick Dastardly.
I'm
I'll
gonna
get
that
cheap
guy.
Penelope pit stop. I'm thinking how I'm gonna get.
Mess with me, will you?
Yeah, I'm gonna. It may not be today. It may not be tomorrow, but one day
It's gonna happen.
it's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to you spinning tonight and putting your flavour to the Music Without Labels events, which is something else. I'm going to throw a spanner in the works for you now.
Sure.
So, I have family in America.
Okay.
I have family all over the world.
Okay.
We are part of the Hakka tribe of China,
Nice.
which is Lin, Chang, Young, and Grossets. And the Grossets were original slaves from Australia.
Wow, I'm not familiar.
So yeah, the Aborigines were also brought across to the US and various places. So my mother's descendants in the West Indies were from that descendant.
Interesting. Wow.
Have you ever traced your family history back?
No, I have not. And there's reasons. They have this this business on the internet called Ancestry.com.
Ancestor, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was interested. I was really interested at first.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was told this thing is owned by the Mormons, and what they're doing is, they're collecting your information. So sure, and you're willingly giving your information away because you want the history, but you're giving the information to an organization who collects information for the purpose of their organization, maybe to either steer you in a direction to go that way. Now this is hearsay. I don't know this to be true or not, but that's the reason why I never played with Ancestry.com.
It's an interesting point because I'm aware that you follow political notifications.
Slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you feel about something strongly, you will voice
I
your
will.
opinion on it.
Yes, I will.
I do notice that you're never controversial. It's very factual, which is always a good thing in terms of here's the facts, you form your own judgment. I have a view with certain churches, as you say, who use information.
Sure.
And because they will prey on the vulnerable.
Sure they will.
But if you're strong enough in character to know what you want, and it serves a purpose, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
So I'm kind of challenging you in effect. I'm fortunate that I have a cousin who's also kind of a Hong Kong movie kung fu star.
Nice.
Called Vincent Lin.
Okay.
Starred in many movies. Traced the Ling family history back to the 12th century. And he's the one who's filled in a lot of the blanks for us. Because much of our history was either not recorded or diluted or destroyed through slavery and various aspects. I guess what I'm alluding to is Milan and your link to that name.
Funny story. So, my grandfather, who was, we really don't know what he was. He had mixed. His parents. His mother was Black American, and I believe his father might have been Trini or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Again, I'm not fully sure because we didn't know. His name was Buster Milam with an M.
Right.
But being this black kid in New York City at the time, some teacher misspelled his name and never changed it. And he kept it. He didn't know, and he was a bastard child. His father slept with his mother and disappeared.
Right.
And he never knew who his father was. So we don't know who our grandfather is. Okay. But that's where the mixture comes in. But yeah, so it would be Milam. But I don't know, I have no idea.
It's strange how that's happened throughout history, because our family name, the original spelling, the Chinese spelling, is Ling. And it was transferred to Lyn.
Right.
When the first wave of my family ended up in San Francisco. And someone
who did it,
who didn't know how to spell it spelt it Lyn,
Misheard it or something.
And it stuck. So yeah, it's quite interesting. So that was one of the things that was intriguing about you. It's a question that I've posed at Elbert Phillips from Chicago.
Oh yeah, right.
Great guy.
Yeah, he said he'll be cheering on.
Yeah, we're bringing him across next year.
Good.
To an MWO event, and it's the same question that I posed to him in terms of, what's your history of your family name? Particularly in America, I think it's quite prevalent.
Yeah, America is horrible. It's disgusting. The way, I believe, the way racism has been procured, the way it's been, like, somebody came up with it, and this plan is still sticking, like 500 years later, working just perfectly.
Yeah.
But in terms of my family, my mother's family, on the other hand, a bunch of musicians.
Okay.
I had an uncle who was a slave. I don't know his name, but my mother used to tell me about an uncle who was killed by the white men because he was this great fiddler. He could play really well, and the ladies liked him.
Okay.
He was a buck, strong, black guy. And man, these white guys made him drink water with cracked up glass in the water and made him drink it. Killed him. But I come from some musical people, man. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Even my father was musical. He was a guitar player, singer. So the family thing is there, but I don't know about the name.
Right, okay. So that was going to be another question. I don't want it to turn into an interview. It's more of a conversational thing.
Yeah, sure.
I have this view, rightly or wrongly, I don't know, that anyone that I would like, I don't even want to say use, to invite to play at a Music Without Labels event has to feel what we're trying to do. We are silently, almost unorchestratedly, if that is a word,
sure,
I may have invented the word, that the likes of Dr. Bob, Marquis-Brown, myself, Steve Lehman, Paul Garland, who are people you're going to meet tonight,
Paul G is a friend of mine.
Have a viewpoint with new music and certain types of music that should be played. It should create the same kind of buzz of the very first time you heard Roy Ayers play Running Away.
You guys are coming from a real mature approach. Like, you're looking at music, like Japanese call it, what did they say? They don't have a word for music. They call it soul healing or soul medicine. Right, and that's how you guys are approaching it, soul medicine or spirit medicine or whatever it is. And that's truly what music is, Dave. I don't know how you pick who has that understanding.
I'll tell you what it is. Someone said it to me quite recently, and it's someone you're going to meet tonight.
Okay, everybody's going to be there tonight.
She's another music aficionado. She knows her tunes, knows what she likes, and is never satisfied with just the name of the track. She will go and investigate who made the copy on the day of the production. Those are the kind of people.
Sure.
And she will often say to me, Dave, have you listened to this show? Sometimes I have, sometimes I haven't. And she said, your wonkiness is starting to influence people, but they haven't quite got it because they're not feeling it like you, Bob, and Grumps do. And I think that is the essence. It's not bigging us up. It's not bigging us up. You know, if you can listen to another DJ do his set and be influenced.
Sure.
But you're influenced because of the effect on the dance floor, not influenced by,
the music
I wonder
itself.
why he's playing that track.
Right. Oh,
Where
I see, yeah.
If the DJ bought that track because, damn, I love this track, this makes me feel like, oh, I'm driving down the freeway on a hot summer's day and I want people to feel the same way that I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a different view,
Mm-hmm.
and if it's working on the dance floor, it can't be explained
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost his energy and his
Mm-hmm.
essence for that feeling is oozing out on the dance floor and he's getting it back.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas someone says, oh, that filled the dance floor, I'm going to get that.
I'm gonna get that right. But how do you pick out the DJ for your event? Because everybody's so organic with it.
For me, there are DJs and people who make music
Mm-hmm.
that stand out, that have an energy and a passion. And it's not to dismiss anyone, because
No.
anyone who creates music has a passion.
There's some
But there is
spiritual
a
going on here,
little
though. Yeah.
something that touches you.
Sure. Sure.
And it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel with your music.
Yeah, thank
it
you.
touches you.
Thank you.
So you get that feeling where you go, oh yeah,
Yeah, gotta have that.
it's that.
Well, that's how I feel when I do. Matter of fact, I was just talking about this. Sheila Ford, I don't know if you know Sheila
Yeah,
Ford.
it's
Okay.
another.
Sheila Ford came into the studio Tuesday and Wednesday, and she does jazz like
I saw
really
her
well.
scatting.
And I mean, she's
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
So, all right, we were doing this music, but I did a song with Sheila, and it was 164 BPMs. Just goes to show you, we're not trying to kill the club. We're just trying to do music that people can feel.
Yeah.
164 BPMs. I don't know if I've ever played a record at 164 BPMs, but we're doing 2018 is going to be a year of music from the heart at Honeycomb.
Looking
Totally
forward to that.
from the heart, not even concerned about how heavy the kick drum is.
You see, coming from a jazz background, because that was my first love,
Me too.
we have jazz dancers that follow us.
I saw that in the video.
In the video
Yeah,
from
yeah,
our
yeah.
last
Yeah.
event. Now,
Some guy had a pair of spats on his shoes.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the likes of Jerry
Yeah,
from
yeah.
IDJ, Manny Hamid, Gary Bravosky, names. But
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
dancers. So 164 would not scare them at all.
Yeah.
They would be
That's-
feeling that 100%.
I'm gonna really look forward to tonight, because after talking to you and seeing the video, it's changed my thinking in terms of what I'm gonna play tonight. So I'm really really amped up.
And
You know,
this is-
people that want to hear it.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because you can. I'm not even going to give you a label of a DJ. I just
Sure,
call
yeah.
you a musician.
Sure. A music lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is precisely what I'm talking about.
Right.
That makes me realise that the choice that I made is right.
Sure.
Because in the same way that Gerardo, the very first time that Gerardo came to the UK, and it's a risk.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Gerardo, you've got to come to the UK. He's like, oh, I'm big in Milan, I'm okay in Japan,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure. Yet my music is sold internationally. He came, he played some tunes, he felt the love and the vibe, and on the same night he said, Dave, you've got to book me again, because I can feel this crowd. And
Right.
the next time he smashed it,
Mm.
and has had other bookings
Nice.
as a result of it. And Gerardo is the kind of guy that says, I'll never forget that you opened that door for me.
Sure.
And I'll never forget that now I can turn up at a gig in the UK and play my heart, and people are going to embrace it.
He's here tonight.
No, unfortunately not.
He's in Italy.
He's
still.
in Italy,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well, that would have been something to...
Yeah.
he would have...
I would love to meet him.
yeah, lovely man.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of another aspect. It's something else that we spoke about downstairs briefly.
Mm-hmm.
You moved from. Were you always in New York?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Born in Brooklyn.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I won't say I know Brooklyn really well. I've been to Brooklyn many times. I had family who lived in Bushwick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been there many times. My family now live in Long Island.
Mm-hmm. They moved up.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. It still has that. I'll give you a story. I think it was the early days of going to New York, and I'd been out to dinner with my sister.
Okay.
And my sister brought some of her friends. My sister's a electronic technology nurse of some description,
Okay, well,
whatever it is,
yeah.
she does. And she took me to the village, and we went to a nice restaurant, and she had quite a mixture of friends, which I found embracing. It's what we're used to in the UK.
Sure.
We don't
That's
have
true.
the...
You guys are not cliquish. Everybody's
Not at
with
all.
everybody.
Yeah. And obviously the conversation, first of all, it's the, wow, I love your accent, Dave, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of used to that. But then we started talking about the political racism, I guess is the word. And they asked me what my view of New York was. And I said, I found it really backward. And it's not belittling or putting down America as a country or its people. It was an observation. And I said, I found it quite backward in how sectarian New York was, and even Brooklyn. And the person who asked me, I can't even remember her name, but she said, well, what do you mean by sectarian? I said, well, even in Brooklyn...
That was my next question. Help me. I'm here.
You have... well...
Sectarian.
Sectarian means you've divided it. So you have the Italian quarter, and within the Italian quarter you have second generation and the first generation and the Sicilians, and you only time you mix is possibly at work. But in the places that you live, you all stay within.
And it doesn't change.
And throughout just Brooklyn, that is the case. So even in the black area, you have Haitian blacks, you have first generation American blacks,
Jamaicans.
you have Jamaicans, and so on and so on. And I said, I find that really backward.
That, my brother, is an issue in America, period, the whole country.
Yeah.
If I go on Facebook, like I just did it, I just said something about, something political it was, maybe about Trump. And a white friend of mine, who is a Trump supporter, said, well, you know, he spoke highly of Trump. But then 2 seconds later, it became a white-black thing. This is not about racism. But you guys are, it's so ingrained in their minds, they cannot get away from it.
Yeah.
Whoever came up with that plan, I think there's a book out about who came up with that racism plan. That plan was ingenious. It works like a charm. And matter of fact, black people in America are going the wrong direction. When Martin Luther King was here, the guys wore suits and everything, you know, just to the store. You got a shirt and slacks on. My man, now, guys, young guys, man, they look so bad.
Yeah. There's no respect for themselves.
Self-respect. Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Alone.
Self-respect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I get it, but we got to do something, because I saw that thing about Libya, and I asked my nephew, if they said we're going to do that in America, all black people, we're going to have slaves. Do you know what to do if that happens? Do you know your rights? Do you know how to speak against it? And nobody knows. I still have to learn, but we're going that direction. I'm telling you, I feel it. The white people are way more entitled now in America. Like, they'll cut you off, and you say hello, they disregard you and keep talking to someone else. You know what I mean?
Because they have a figurehead.
It's getting worse. Trump has never said anything about black people per se, but at his speeches, you'll hear some guys say white power.
And it's the representation.
He is the head of it. Yeah.
And the links within the party, people that he's brought in. Yeah. I must admit, I purposely do not get involved in American politics.
It's
because
ugly.
I had a lengthy conversation with Albert, and we speak a lot every week. Yeah, we speak every week, and it's one of the things that I said. I find it not a good idea to discuss American politics because I'm not American.
Right.
But it does influence us because
Influence
the world is a smaller place, and
than
we're
we
all
think.
influenced by each other.
But anyway, I know we're
Yeah.
wrapping up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love tonight. I'm gonna enjoy tonight. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna play some music that's gonna rock your socks, and some music that's gonna make you think and dance and feel love. That's really what I'm here for, the love.
We love sharing the love, spreading it around. That's what it's all about.
That's right. God says I am love. So we want to give you God. That's how we're gonna do it.
Thank you, Josh.
That's a pleasure, Dave. We're gonna do this more often.
Yeah, absolutely.